Nancy Pelosi got kicked out of the Democrat Party by the far left. Nancy Pelosi is the poster child for the corrupt, power-hungry, self-serving politician who uses their power to enrich themselves personally and simultaneously make everybody else's life worse. But after the election of Zohran Mamdani, Nancy Pelosi was sent a clear message that she needs to get out now because the Democrat Party is now the Communist Party. And Nancy Pelosi and all her stolen wealth finds herself the enemy of the very monster she helped create. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel, but let's hear the message that Nancy Pelosi's time is done, coming from none other than AOC just moments after Zohran was elected mayor.
What I think is so impressive about what Zohran Mamdani accomplished tonight, as well as the entire movement of New Yorkers that came out to vote for him, is that he had to not just defeat a Republican, he had to defeat a Republican and the old guard of the Democratic Party at the same time. He was fighting a war on two fronts and not just one. And he still won resoundingly. And I think the message that that sends is that the Democratic Party cannot last much longer by denying the future, by trying to undercut our young, by trying to undercut a next generation of diverse and upcoming Democrats that have the parties, the actual party, our actual electorate and voters support.
So Nancy's looking at her $400 million fortune and thinking, hey, I stole all this money fair and square by myself the hard way. What right do they have to take my money? And she sees the writing on the wall, so she's trying to get out of Dodge as fast as she can, or else what was the last 40 years of corrupt swindling even for? And that's why only 2 days after AOC issued that warning to Nancy Pelosi, you got this news.
Yeah, you as well. Here we go now to Washington. The former House Speaker, leading congressional Democrat Nancy Pelosi, has announced in a video a moment ago that she will not seek re-election. She has represented San Francisco for nearly 40 years. She's 85 years old. The history she has in Washington speaks for itself. She has been a long-range player in the Democratic Party. And
for the last 40 years, Nancy Pelosi has flown in whatever direction the wind is blowing in the Democrat Party. At one point, she was sternly against illegal immigration and against illegal aliens receiving government welfare. At one point, she was tough on China, saying we need more manufacturing jobs here in America. And now she's against these things because she doesn't have any principles. She just stands for whatever the prevailing narrative is that will get her reelected. But socialism conveniently is where Nancy Pelosi draws the line. Why? Because Nancy Pelosi loves capitalism. Nancy Pelosi loves being able to enrich herself by stock trading on insider information. Capitalism is the backbone. It's the engine to which Nancy Pelosi's entire scheme operates. Nancy Pelosi doesn't support socialism because despite Nancy Pelosi's many flaws, she's smart enough to know that socialism means that Nancy Pelosi is also going to be poor. She's impressively resided over San Francisco becoming extraordinarily unaffordable and expensive, while the quality of life simultaneously drops precipitously. Let's take a look at San Francisco at the moment, and you tell me, how does somebody serve 40 years in Congress while the city they preside over looks like this?
Haters be like, go to downtown and make a video and see how great it is. Have you been to downtown San Francisco? The architecture here is stunning. It's beautiful. The streets are so clean. What?
Democrats like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer's decision to activate and mainstream the radical portion of their base in order to stay in power has now backfired and is the exact force that's ousting them out of their positions of power. Their decision to fully lean into the Donald Trump is Hitler and his supporters are Nazis rhetoric was essentially to say the other party has fully radicalized and we must combat that with fully radicalizing ourselves. But blinded by their own short-sightedness and desperation to stay in power, they didn't even realize that their own radical base sees them as the enemy. Nancy and Chuck are the bourgeoisie. They want to steal all of your guys' wealth too. But the old guard's inability to relinquish power and to maintain the status quo that has enriched them for so long isn't allowing the modern Democrat Party to get fully lost in the communist sauce as they want to. So that's why they are forcing Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer out, because they're saying it's our turn to rob the American taxpayer and make ourselves wealthy. Here is Scott Jennings on CNN referring to Nancy Pelosi as the best stock trader of all time.
And by the way, it's not often that someone can become a titan of both Washington and Wall Street. Republicans will remember her as one of the most successful and prolific day traders. She beat the S&P 500 by 559% in her stock portfolio. She's worth a lot of money. She did an amazing job. So what a blow for the financial houses today on Wall Street. I'm sure they're mourning.
Just getting in an elbow, right?
Yeah, really trying to get in some opposition research.
That's a classic Scott Jennings, by the way. Like, I'm beginning to view what you just did there as like the Scott Jennings on TV.
I want Trump to put her in charge of the Social Security Administration. We could all retire in 6 months if we let this lady manage our portfolios.
Do you know what I think is, for me was,
I mean, Nancy Pelosi's insider stock trading was so bad that her lasting legacy will probably be a law that bans Congress from stock trading any longer. And for decades, the Democrat Party was willing to turn a blind eye to this corruption because Nancy was on their team. But now the Democrat Party has formed into something that wants to tear down the very system upon which Nancy Pelosi's scheme is built on. And the radical left gave Nancy an ultimatum: get out of the way and we'll show you some grace, or continue to be an inconvenient obstacle to our agenda, and we'll see to it that we seize all of your wealth as well. But here's Donald Trump absolutely grilling Nancy Pelosi's decision, saying it's the best thing that could have happened to America.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
About Nancy Pelosi?
Nancy Pelosi's retirement.
I think she's an evil woman. I'm glad she's retiring. I think she did the country a great service by retiring. I think she was a tremendous liability for the country.
And on Dick Cheney.
I thought she was an evil woman who did a poor job, who cost the country a lot in damages and in reputation. I thought she was terrible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Some people are saying, oh no, she's just retiring because she's 85 years old. Yeah, all right, Nancy Pelosi would have died in office if she could. She's retiring because the radical left isn't just coming for her and Chuck Schumer, they're also coming for her protege, Hakeem Jeffries Walmart Obama. And as long as Hakeem is the Democrat Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi will always maintain power by being the puppet master behind the scenes. And now that her boy Walmart Obama is also on the chopping block, Nancy Pelosi realizes that the time to get out is now because the well has run dry. But check out this last clip from Fox News where they say Nancy Pelosi is merely the first domino to fall. We should probably see something from Chuck Schumer very soon.
Don't you think it's interesting, Dana, that while she might have been beloved for a long time, she's like a band that stayed on stage for too long.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing is that she was also feared, and she was respected by the people that she was trying to corral.
So she had lost that love and had lost that fear. And it's no surprise that she would have been unpopular in this room or among Republicans, but she had become unpopular among Democrats. And that's what's interesting. With her retirement, granted at the age of 85, she's turned over the reins. She's unpopular. Jessica, she's unpopular with the people that she's turning the reins over to. It's the AOCs. It is the socialist wing of the Democratic Party. It's the ascendant side of the left. And Nancy Pelosi's only the first. She might be the lead singer, but the band's got to go. Chuck Schumer on drums. He's done. The rest of the band is exiting the stage. And get ready for the Zoran party.
It's terrifying to know that the Democrat Party that we've all grown to know and love, the one that believes open borders are virtuous, that police are bad, that criminals deserve compassion, that believe in an endless welfare state, that the government should have its tentacles in every aspect of our lives, the one that mandates accepting men can become women, boys should compete in girls' sports, girls' spaces should be accessed by mentally ill men, children should be sexualized by their teachers and hold secrets that the parents don't know, is actually the tuned down, tepid version of what's about to be unleashed now that Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi soon won't be in the way. If what the Democrat Party is morphing into terrifies Nancy Pelosi so much that she's calling it quits, we should all consider that very, very alarming. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.